What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, episode 297. We are on our way to 300. I appreciate your guys' feedback for the Hype community Facebook page. And if you haven't joined, join now. People are saying we should wear the all white and get the Cheetos. I like that idea. Maybe do a 300 box break. Keep the ideas coming. We appreciate it. As we head closer to the National, we'd like to remind you guys that we are throwing the hottest party at the National, and there's only a few spots left. We have over 100 RSVPs. So, guys, it's the Thursday, July 27th from 6 to 9, and it's at the hotel right across the street from the National. You can take the Skywalk over. We've got guests. We've got a karaoke contest. We've already got some confirmed guests, but if somebody wants to do karaoke, get your chance of winning an NT box, let us know. There's still a few spots available for that. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing breaks. It's going to be a fun event. Drinks, food. It's going to be the must-see party of the year, so make sure you're there. Also, this week, Mojo Collection Multi-Sport makes its return. It's our very own buyback, 12 to 15 cards a case. Only 25 cases made. You've got Julio Rodriguez, who was just hot during the Home Run Derby. His first moment's in there. You've got rookies of Tom Brady. You got rookies of Michael Jordan. You've got Steph Curry. You've got a Dale Earnhardt autographed card that came out of a pack, Dale Earnhardt Sr. You've got Ronaldo. You've got some actors. You got presidents. It is a awesome product, 12 to 15 hits, $79, random team style. You get 2 spots per spot, and it is amazing. So check it out. Only 25 cases. Make sure you get your spots now as they're already filling up. Today's show, we're going to talk about brand new tribute baseball, Fanatics Live. It made its debut over the last couple days at the All-Star Game. Tom Brady's getting into the hobby, and some second half players to watch. I noticed Thumper was not at the All-Star Game. The only mascot that was not at the All-Star Game. Is that more doom and gloom for Oakland A's fans?
Well, first of all, Stomper.
Nobody cares.
Hate to be the guy, but Dan.
It's Stomper, huh?
It's Stomper.
Thumper's better.
Yeah. Dan doing his. Well, Thumper would be. I believe there's like a Disney, some Bambi. Wasn't there a character in Bambi?
And also, nobody cares about Major League Baseball mascots.
I do.
Except for one. There's one mascot and one mascot only, and that's the Philly Fanatic.
The GOAT.
All other mascots in baseball, specifically, even crossed over into other sports, don't really matter.
Look, I think we've talked about it, but we need to bring back the San Diego Chicken. The San Diego Chicken needs to make a comeback. More of a city mascot, but need a comeback. Fryer's fine, but I need the chicken.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need any more cards of him, though. Panini used him for about 5 years.
A lot of San Diego Chicken.
Was it the San Francisco Crab? Is that what it was?
The Crazy Crab.
The Crazy Crab.
So bad, it's good now at this point.
I wanted to piggyback off, before we get into our Tom Brady and some of this new release talk. I noticed Barstool put out a thing about the most hated fan base, and they made their opinion. And I think the Philly Fanatic makes up for the wretched Philly fans, and that's why they're lovable. But if you guys had just put you on the spot, who's the most hated fan base in your opinion?
Whoa. The one that I dislike the most?
Well, I know where you're going, so we'll save yours for last. I'll put Cody on the spot. If America voted, who do you think the most hated fan base is?
If America voted, and and I saw that poll, it had a lot of like non-sports on there, which was interesting. Sorry to Yankee fans, my gut reaction was the Yankees.
That was their pick too.
Yeah, my gut reaction is the Yankees because there's also like there's a delusion for Yankee fans. Look. You haven't won a World Series since 2009. There are kids that are going into high school this year who have never seen the New York Yankees win a World Series, and you still act like 27 rings, bro. We're different. We're different.
But it is.
2009 wasn't that long.
Yeah, but for bragging about like you're the best.
Regardless of when they did it, 27 championships.
Sure. Niner fans like to hang on 5 rings.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm not that guy.
I mean, they act like it's 27.
Sure, fine, whatever.
It's equivalent.
It's equivalent for football. I was just saying, but you can't do that when the Red Sox have won more than you in the last 25 years. The Giants have won more than you. The Cardinals have won more than you. The Yankees. This is my favorite stat. The Yankees have been to as many World Series since 2004-ish, basically in the last 20 years, as the Colorado Rockies. There you go.
So they've had a bad couple decades. But
correct.
I mean,
so
as far as like winning
like 27 rings.
but they've been competitive pretty much every one of those years.
I know, and then you have when the football comes around, the Cowboys. They have them. The Yankee fans are Cowboys.
Cowboys,
That's a long drought.
But is this conversation only baseball?
No, it's all sports. All sports.
But they got the Lakers, because they're Laker fans too. They got the bubble championship at least.
Sure.
So
Got a bubble.
Vikings fans, and Doug would probably.
Wow.
Doug would probably
Single Viking fan.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of them.
But I've actually seen. I'm not going to mention names, but that type of mentality from other Vikings fans as well.
Interesting.
And they haven't won anything.
I'll also throw out.
Have they even won a Super Bowl?
No,
They've never won a Super Bowl.
No.
Oh, it's tough. It's bad.
Also
they're okay with Kirk Cousins.
And Barstool, of course, left this off, considering the people who are in charge over there. But in general, Philly fans, Philadelphia city sports fans in Philly general get the bad rap, but Boston sports fans, I think, to me, a little bit more annoying, personally, than Philly fans.
So are you going to go with the Chiefs fans or
Lake Show.
Lakers?
I would
Laker
say
fans.
a Chiefs great fan base, like respectable fan base. Like when I went there, they were nothing but great. Green Bay, they were really good as well, except for after the game they got a little chirpy.
Well, you guys got blown out, right?
We lost. No, we lost by 14 points, maybe. It's not
it's a blowout.
a lot. We did win a Super Bowl that year, though, so doesn't really matter.
I mean, I can't even say the Rams because they don't have a fan base, basically. But I mean, so you can't say most hated fan base.
Yeah, there is, but overall, and the low hanging fruit, I was gonna say there is no worse fan base than the San Francisco 49ers.
Fair enough.
Ooh,
Fair enough.
Yes,
Ooh.
I agree.
Look,
that's. I mean, there's 50% of the people in the room agree.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
look. I'll
Santa
just
Clara fans are the
Yeah,
worst.
but the Niners have actually put some money in your pocket, Dan. So, I mean, I don't know why I would hate a fan base that they have put money in your pocket. You're right down the
They're
street. This
100
business is right down the street from the Niners
100%
Stadium.
they have not. If anything, I've lost money with the 49ers. They forced me to buy hot dogs and soda, part of the
If we didn't have
ticket.
we wouldn't have had the great Joe Staley on board, which we're doing a show with Dalton Kincaid soon here
because
today.
of the 49er fan base.
It's just I mean, if we weren't here, it's putting money directly in your pocket, Dan. So it'd be
it's
hard for me to hate that.
100%. It is not. If anything, you could turn it around. The Rams have been putting money in your pocket because our season tickets for the Rams actually made us money.
Make money.
But we have customers that, hey, maybe they have flown out here for a 49er football game because they're from all over the United States, and they stopped by the shop and they spent some money that went directly in your
I
pocket.
think that happened one time.
No, it's consistently happening.
One time.
I think there's been Rams and Raider fans that have come into the shop and bought product as well.
Maybe. Well, I mean, hated fan base for me is I don't know, low hanging fruit would be Philadelphia fans for me. Eagles after what they did to a lot of our fan base.
That video that came out was pretty bad. The one that they were clowning on the Niner fans, right?
Mm-hmm. Week 13,
Eagles.
we're looking forward to it this year. We'll show you.
You and
Week
Deebo
13
Samuel.
is it in Philly or is it here? Are you going to the
No,
game?
no.
I was like,
I value my life too much.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you should go to the.
I-
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it in Philly?
It is.
yeah, no.
Which fan base would throw batteries?
Philly.
Philly?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. There's still look. It can get ugly, but there is also a part of me that thinks they kind of revel in it, which I do respect to some degree. Whereas I think, like I said with Boston, I think there is a little bit of you don't know what you sound like right now. There's a little bit of being you're a little spoiled the way they talk
that's how
about
I feel
things.
about LA Laker fan base.
Yes, absolutely.
Super spoiled.
To me, that's the most annoying is when you're spoiled. Yankee fans, Laker fans,
Dodger
Boston
fans.
Dodger fans. To an extent, I mean, again,
No,
look,
Dodger fans
scoreboard
are
over the
cool,
last
man.
three decades. So I would say no to the
Can't wait
Dodger
to cop that Shohei Dodger jersey next year.
fans. Not going to happen.
I mean,
It's going to be an orange and black.
I do love the Giants, but I mean, the
Shohei.
the Dodgers have been pretty good. Again, kind of like the Yankees, where they are consistently good and competitive every single year.
Yeah, but to that, I'd say,
I mean, being a Giant, you cannot say that the Giants have been competitive every single year
right.
for the last 20 years.
Yeah, but also, again, when we're talking World Series championships since 1980 in seasons that weren't shortened by strikes or wild global events.
Since 1980?
Yes, that's where I'm going.
Fernando Mania, dude.
Sure, fine,
1988,
great.
Kirk Gibson.
Yeah, sure, great. Again, one World Series championship in non-shortened seasons versus 3 in, normal baseball
but they've had
seasons.
2, though. You just got to
Yeah,
put
one of
that
them doesn't
asterisk
count.
on it.
One of them doesn't count.
One does count, though.
Are you an
No,
LA fan?
doesn't.
No, but dude, if the Giants won in that short season, you'd think that we would be all, it didn't count.
Yeah, right, but it's the Giants. So
We'd be going around. We'd be going around celebrating. We're like, well,
You know what's
there's number 4.
And speaking of Bay Area talk, there was another idea for episode 300 that
Should
somebody
already would've
said
failed.
we should go through the whole episode without talking about a Bay Area sports team.
what episode was this?
That would be for episode 300.
No.
what-
What
oh,
episode are we in right now?
297.
Well, we epically failed out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, this might
tried.
actually.
Wait. So what? They wanted us to do what with Cheetos?
White party. We're all white.
Yep.
And eat Cheetos.
That was my idea.
Flamin'
Dan's
hot.
idea.
Yeah, Dan's
Okay.
idea.
Somebody piggyback on Dan's
Somebody
idea.
said absolutely great idea,
Yeah,
Dan. You
I
guys should do
mean-
that. I mean, I'm down for eating Cheetos on I know
I'm
that's
down-
like
I'm
Cardinals
down
in
for
a
wearing
podcast
all white.
thing, but
I think we should wear
How about
all
we
white.
do white party Cheetos, 300 shots of beer, 840s. I mean, nothing
840s.
basic, nothing says a party like 840s and cheese balls,
Are we gonna be able to-
the giant.
I'm stressed out that I'm gonna mess up my all white clothes.
yeah, I was
That's the
gonna
whole
say
point.
that sounds like one big tummy ache waiting to happen right there.
I'll do the 40s. But the
840s?
Cheetos, I don't know.
840s?
Not alone. I thought we're sharing them.
No, each person gets 8.
Nah.
No, we do two. Two
I,
each. Is
I
any
would get.
fun.
I would get through 2, and you guys do not want to see me.
And 3 shots. We'll just
I'll
say
be
it's
on the
300.
floor.
It may not make for a great podcast. Formulating words.
That's
may
what I'm
not
telling
happen.
you. The Warriors the best. Go number 1.
That's how you talk when you're drunk?
That's the winner. Let me tell you something, man.
Well, let's get into somebody who's not drunk. Mike Trouthouse cards in. I don't know where I was going with that, but 2023 tribute is coming out. It came out today. I ripped some cases this morning. I mean, it's one of my favorite releases as far
Always
as
beautiful, huh?
the base cards. I think people undervalue the base cards. I know it's about the hits. It's 6 hits, 6 packs, 3 relics, 3 autos. You've got a really star-studded rookie class with Adley. You've got Kodai Senga. You got Matsutaka Yoshida. You've
Gorman's
got
in there.
Volpe. You got Gorman. You've got
Michael
Oswaldo.
Harris.
Yeah,
I
Michael
feel like
Harris.
I think we kind of
Is Jordan Walker good? I don't know.
Jordan Walker has been very good since getting called back up. Michael Harris had a really good end of the first half, so this rookie class is definitely on the up and up right now.
Corbin Carroll got hurt. How hurt is he?
Not hurt. He played in the All-Star game.
Oh,
Nice,
great.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
He'll be all right.
It seemed a little concerning. He got taken out of a game maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah. A lot of, I think, shoulder fatigue, but they're playing him very, very carefully, but was good enough to play in the All-Star game.
You probably had this coming up later, but I believe there was the MLB draft.
MLB draft
And
was
you're-
later. We
and-
actually don't. We did not have time to
No?
do a big deep dive.
No Cody gonna go over the draft for everybody.
I'll just here's your draft analysis. Paul Skeens, he's good.
Any former major league, was there a lineage like we've seen every single year? Any kids from former major leaguers get drafted?
I know there's a few, but not as prevalent as it was
Because the last
year.
3-4 years, it was the first round. That was pretty much
Yeah,
it.
not as prevalent as last year. I know
Tigers, Matt Clark.
sounds right.
Did I pay attention more than Cody?
Apparently
on
you
this?
did. Yeah.
Who
Apparently
the
you did.
Giants got another two-way player?
They
Like
did.
a-
Bryce Eldridge. I knew that.
Yeah.
Definitely knew that. Giants actually had one of the better drafts among all the teams.
How do we know?
Just
So far
again,
away.
Again.
And what
Nobody
product is these
Bryce
kids going to
Eldridge
be
is
in?
a high schooler. Yeah, he'll probably be in Bowman draft.
Yeah.
6'7", Bryce
Yeah.
Eldridge.
Damn, that boy
Pitcher,
tall.
hitter.
But I think what's exciting
Hitter.
from a collector standpoint is I think this is Paul Skeens.
Two-way player.
You have 2 guys. I mean, they're going to split them up.
Skeens
Skeens
by Pirates, right?
Skeens by the Pirates. Dylan
How many
Cruz,
times have the
Nationals.
Pirates had the first overall pick? Is
A
this
lot.
every year?
A
Him
lot.
and the Orioles. Is it every year?
Yeah.
And
It's-
Dylan Cruz, which we've been pulling a lot of Dylan Cruz out of USA Stars and
What is
Stripes.
Skeens going to be in next year's Bowman?
or draft. I don't know. He's
he-
a pitcher, so they may put Skeens in draft and then maybe hold Dylan Cruz for Bowman.
But I think the exciting thing is because Skeens has been hyped up. One, the College World Series getting the best ratings it's ever had. So these are guys that I think a lot of people are already familiar with. More casual fans are more familiar with. And Skeens is the most highly touted pitching prospect since Steven Strasburg. That name holds a lot of weight still in
Hold
this
on,
hobby.
hold on,
The
hold
next
on.
Strasburg?
I've heard this before from Cody.
Who?
Hyping up pitchers.
Oh, yeah.
hey,
You
know
remember?
me.
You remember last year?
I'm like
2
it's
years
gonna-
ago.
2 years.
Jack Leiter.
No. Well, 2 years.
here's the
Two,
but-
2 years ago, then the following year, it was going to be the year of the pitcher.
Look, Jack Leiter didn't sign, and Bowman still hasn't signed. That's his fault. If he did that, we might be having a different conversation right now. Paul Skeens, though, come on.
The year of the
It's
pitcher.
time. The year of the pitcher has been 3 years in the making.
You gotta be
It's
right at some
time.
point.
At some point.
I mean, if you say it every year.
Look, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and I'm going to keep taking that shot, and I'm going to say right now, this is different. Paul Skeens,
We'll change the
gonna be
hobby
different.
game for pitchers.
finally.
And the Pirates are better.
Much better. We got a lot of young talent. With that, we will get into some big second half guys for the
And
Pirates.
actually, just to piggyback, I remember the story. Jacob Wilson, drafted by the A's, 6th overall, is Jack Wilson's son.
That's right.
And,
Former Pirate.
Former Pirate Jack. That guy didn't play that long ago.
Not that long
That's
ago.
what I said.
But he played in the same era
Jack,
as like
didn't they have Jack Wilson and wasn't there Hank Wilson at the they had like 2 Wilsons.
maybe. There's
on that.
also I mean Matt Holliday and Jack Wilson were contemporaries when you think of it that way. Matt Holliday's son is playing.
And Manfred said Grand Union University, and it was Grand Canyon
yeah,
University.
he was
So-
shook during the A's pick because there was a lot of
Wait,
chanting.
the A's didn't
Yeah.
draft Max
Could they
Muncy?
suck?
I know.
They
it
probably
was-
they were probably scrolling through the first round. Is there
It
another
was
Max
really
Muncy?
loud.
Oh, A's, you suck.
Oh, they weren't booing. They weren't booing the A's.
They're like
They were booing that man up. They were doing boo
So-
this man.
the Las
Fred.
Vegas A's select. Wait, Oakland, whatever.
How badly did he want to
The
say
Fremont A's.
San Jose. And we also got some Mosaic draft coming out this week as well. Football, which shows Anthony Richardson, highlighting that. And that'll be a online exclusive only. So Tom Brady is opening a shop at Fontainebleau Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.
Awesome.
And it's opening up
Love it.
in December. I think it's opening up when the casino opens up.
Hell yeah.
Does Tom Brady just sit back there and just sign stuff? Like he could sign it like $400 bill, sign stuff $1,000 bill, sign stuff $1,000 bill. Just he's on site. He's making $1 million a day selling his memorabilia.
Quite possibly, yeah.
So what is he? He's opening up a what now?
Memorabilia shop.
Sports memorabilia shop.
Can I?
Okay.
So you could probably assume there is going to be some sports cards.
There's not gonna be any Brady stuff though.
There's
Can
gonna
I,
be there's gonna be Brady stuff on a Raiders
Right.
uniform. Let's go.
That's right.
It's in Vegas.
I'm sorry to throw a little cold water on this because I was like, oh yeah, I heard that story about Tom Brady in the memorabilia shop as I was getting stories together before this, and of course I go on Google Tom Brady memorabilia shop. Okay, nothing's really showing up. Okay, Tom Brady hobby shop. Nothing's really showing up. Then I finally do find it, and it is collectibles guru Eric Whiteback, who is a kind of a news aggregate. We pulled from him before. It's the only guy I found that is reporting this, and other news aggregate sites are reporting it because they're saying he's the source. Are we sure this is happening? Is my next question. I'm not.
Hey, but-
I'm not trying to.
No.
discourage him, but
Definitely.
I've heard from him.
Well, I would assume this would be a partnership with a company that we're going to be talking about here shortly that just launched a live platform.
And look, he
right?
may have sources too, like that I don't know about, but it is kind of weird that I
It
haven't
makes
heard from
sense.
anywhere
It's
else.
like it's always like that we've heard before. He wants to make Vegas kind of like his home. He like obviously owns part of the Raiders now. So this only makes sense that he's going to open up something there with the new casino that's opening up as well.
Well,
What-
he lost. He lost
What
$30 million.
casino? What
Yeah.
casino is
FTX.
opening up in Vegas?
Fontainebleau.
I love the name.
It has
Fontainebleau.
It has been in development since the late 2000s.
Fontainebleau?
Yes. Apparently, since the late 2000s, obviously the recession in 2008 kind of halted it. Then it's just been
late
very slow.
2000s?
Yeah. Again, the
You mean
08
like 20? You mean like
crash.
20 years ago?
God, I mean, more like about 15. But yeah, we're getting there.
Where is this magical
It's
great?
by the stratosphere. Next,
just south of
right across
Sahara.
the street from Circus Circus.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
it's right by Resorts World.
So it's outside the strip.
No, it's
I mean, they're trying to expand. They're trying to make it so this is the
They're
strip.
trying to expand the strip to
Correct.
go even further down.
oh, they got to get rid of Circus Circus.
Yeah, that one's a
Oh,
little rusted out. Where were we
But-
staying? Where we look down on
What do you mean?
But it's
Come
still
on,
cool
when's
for the
the-
kids.
No,
Dude, it has an amusement park inside.
I know.
Yeah,
I've been.
that
there.
is why it will always
It's-
survive.
It's. I know. No. It's not.
Oh, it's not nice.
not
Don't-
nice.
There's a reason it's
We'll
about
never
$60
stay
a
there.
night.
But I take my kids to that amusement park, so.
I've been to the amusement park.
You talking about the one with roller coasters inside?
Yeah, and there's like a water park in there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It's
Yeah, it
cool,
sounds like
but-
there's reports that it was abandoned, all this other stuff. So I guess it looks like they got $2.2 billion to finish building it.
Is that all
and,
it takes to build a casino in
that's
Vegas?
That's it. Coming 2023.
2.2 billion.
Gotta know a guy.
Got-
No, that's the old Vegas.
No,
Sorry.
you got to know a guy who knows a guy.
Right, that's old Vegas.
So
That's De Niro Casino Vegas.
I am still confident that you need to know somebody to know somebody
Probably.
to get a casino in Vegas.
do we go in there and say, is Tom in today or
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
like
I'm here to talk to the manager.
Tom?
His name's Thomas, I've heard.
Thomas.
To piggyback on that, I think this national is, got a little bit more younger names, some bigger names. Cody, you've got a slide here of some of the signers at the national.
Yes.
Let's go over that.
Let's
Okay.
hear it.
So these names popped out to me if you're watching, but if you're not, these I was looking at. Okay, who's any new names that are signing? We knew Angel Reese, the LSU women's college basketball star.
First female signer, which
That's
is crazy. To me.
wild, and
That's pretty cool.
again, definitely appealing to a younger demographic. Threw Floyd Mayweather on there again, which still is very like anytime he's on there, it's a huge name. He's one of the highest earning athletes of all time. But the two that really did pop for me on top of Angel Reese was Anthony Edwards and Jalen Green. Now, again, I was talking to Doug before we went on today, but I was like, correct me if I'm wrong. This feels different than your typical signers at the National. Those guys usually tend to be
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers, retired athletes, guys who aren't playing anymore. These guys are active, younger.
Fanatics bringing in the younger
Yeah,
cats.
but
That's
you
what
had
it feels like.
You had Odell Beckham last year.
That's true.
Granted, he was injured, but he was there.
And
signing.
again, I guess that would be the first sort of whispers of like, hey, this Fanatics. Well, we knew the Fanatics stuff was happening. We all
Jalen Green
knew.
is pretty wild because he you wouldn't expect somebody as young as him because he's barely going into his third year this next season.
And Edwards, I think, kind
And
of
him
in
and
that
him
same-
going to like a card show already is like kind of crazy.
And I'll put this on top of that without naming any names. There have been whispers of some pretty big names that we don't usually see at the National that may be arriving in athletes, former athletes that we don't usually see.
yeah.
So it does feel like I don't know. I'm ready for surprises, I guess is what I'm saying. And I think Fanatics is bringing out, for lack of a better term, bringing out the big guns here. For this
Yeah, I
season.
mean, I think what I'm looking into it as is maybe they're out there doing other stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one thing you don't see that, you see these guys, they're people in line getting autographs, whatever they're bringing to sign, but there's a whole other backroom area where maybe Ruben has stuff for Jalen Green to sign or said deal. So they may be signing for 2 hours on the floor or whatever their time is, but they may be at the back for 8 hours. Signing more and more and more and more stuff.
But
So
you guys are jumping to the fact that like they're going down for Fanatics. There's a real good chance that they could be coming down to sign for Panini.
yeah, we don't know.
true,
Like
that too.
they could have. I mean, I don't know if Edwards or Green at any point were redemptions, but maybe they were like, hey, like we're gonna get some of these cards signed. Come on down. You could all, and they basically just probably talked to their management and double dip. They're like, I got to go down there anyway, so I'll do a little autograph signing,
Yeah.
make a little extra money.
I think just in general, it's very, very cool to hear that we are getting some younger players out to the National. Because you're right, it is usually like a little bit older athletes.
Yep, so that's cool. I mean, one thing, they actually have the list of case breakers that are going to be in the case break pavilion. And they didn't get our name wrong in the way you think they would get our name wrong, but they got our name wrong again.
There's a space.
No, you'll never get this.
I will.
No, Mojo Space Break.
Nope.
It's
Break
Mojo cards.
Nope.
Oh,
Mojobreak LLC. I guess you just assume we're an LLC, but not everybody else has LLC on here. A few guys do.
That's kind
I
of funny.
know. Oh man, I know why that's messed up though.
Yeah.
I mean, after 13 years,
Can I get some respect? Put some
you
respect
think
on my
that you
name.
would be able to figure it out. When those tax payments go through, ink is right there.
Would you guys have been more offended if it was Mojobreaks with an S?
No, I
Equally
mean,
offended.
we've already done that.
There is a brand.
At least it didn't get NorCal Sports Cards. That was a good one for 4 years.
I'm surprised that wasn't on there as well. But I'm going through the list of breakers, and all of our favorite of breakers are there. But there is a one that I've never heard of, and I'm going to have to stop by specifically in the morning. Bagel Masters is the name of their
Bagel Masters?
Bagel Masters.
Bagel.
Bagel.
Bagel. Like,
Shout out to Bagels.
So I don't know if they got the lox, the cream cheese, maybe the chives, but
I
get
think
there
we've-
early and
We've gotten to a point where I thought like 5, 6, 7 years ago we ran out of breaker names. We're out of breaker names.
Well, now we just
we're done.
decided.
We're done. We have no more.
Right. We ran out of names, so we're like, you know what? Let's just start naming our break operation after bakeries. Why not?
I was on a
donut breaks. We got to
Donuts.
take it right now.
Yeah.
There was a website I actually showed Jacob. It's kind of like what breaker culture was, or like trying to do like a like a rating and like Expedia type of deal for breakers. This is the Expedia for breakers is something that has been talked about since we started 13 years ago, and it's never happened. So and I would say that we have been contacted no less than 10 times about giving our input, and we're just always like, yeah, it's not going to happen because you got to get breakers on board. But there was a company that had a list of breakers, and I can't remember. I mean, literally, forgot what their name was, but they had a weed leaf with a smiley face in it, and that was their logo. And it was like chronic breaks or it was something like that. Like it was like
it should be we do breaks. Weed breaks.
it was pot leaf.
Dank breaks.
Weedo breaks.
But I'm
we do
like,
breaks. We do breaks.
yeah.
I'm surprised that nobody's went with Let's Go breaks though. I mean that's
It's right
Hey,
there.
hey,
for
hey, in that
taking.
app the other night, one of the customer let's go.
one of the guys that won all the cards. So yeah, that's
Where we
interesting.
going?
Bagel rips. Giving you guys some press.
Bagel Masters.
Bagel Masters, not bagel rips.
Bagel
rips.
Bagel rips. Uh-oh. They have competition now. Let me go to GoDaddy and see if I can get bagelrips.com
Bagel
With a
Masters.
Z.
with a Z. Always with a Z.
Can I have the almond with?
So Doug, when you're there, I'd give you some credit if you just go up there and just put your order in.
A
Got
coffee.
a little Asiago.
So I'm looking for an everything. You got an everything bagel.
You guys got those?
Like,
just plain cream cheese.
Capers.
we're starting to really go. I mean, we started with coffee breakers. Now we're at bagel breakers. We got donut breakers on the horizon.
Strudel.
We got the strudel breakers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's the
there's
scone breakers.
Scone.
there's Mama breaks,
Bear claw breaks.
and then I
Daddy
saw there
rips.
was Daddy rips. But I don't.
Sunny breaks.
As far as I know, I don't think he has any kids though.
Baby breaks.
Sister breaks.
baby breaks.
Brother.
I like
Brother breaks,
Father breaks.
cousins. But no, I mean Mama breaks. By the way, before we get into this Fanatics Live, phenomenal job on the All-Star Game Fanatics Live. It was invite only, so a lot of you guys probably didn't see it. There is some clips out there of the break. The great Scott Rakowski was hosting it. Actually, Michael Hodges did the first day. Shout out to Clubhouse Breaks. He did a fantastic job. And then the next day they had Mama Breaks on there. And, man, Stephanie is all over the place. She translated for Randy Arozarena as she was breaking. I mean, it was or she stepped aside to translate. I was like, man, what an awesome job she did. And, as a father of daughters, to hope that my daughters will get into the cards, something like Mama Breaks gives you, can show my daughters that, hey, there is females that do this, women in the hobby. And I know there's a group called Women in the Hobby. Shout out to Sarah Layton on that as well. But seeing her on there, it's like, this is a great thing for the hobby. And she did a fantastic job on the Fanatics Live app, which kicks us right into the Fanatics Live app. They went live at the All-Star Game, ripped some high-end boxes, had, the guest list was incredible. It was Albert Pujols. They had Freddie Freeman, Randy Arozarena, Adley Rushman, I'm leaving a lot of names off. Brent
Rooker,
Brent
the
Rooker from
great-
the A's.
Don't forget, A's great.
Josh Young. I mean, it was a great event, and we're looking forward to using the app. So stay tuned for that. And it looks really nice. There was no bugs, at least for that event, and it was very clear. It didn't have a lot of buffering, and I'm putting I'm putting a lot of faith in, and they put a lot of resources in. They listen to the breakers on how to make this good. They're getting customer feedback, and showing that Fanatics is really caring about the hobby and making an app with breaks in mind, but also keeping the transparency well. They're doing a lot of initiatives for transparency, which we just heard another breaker in the news, same breaker that's already had some controversy that allegedly got caught shill bidding their auctions on the W platform. So, hopefully Fanatics cleans this all up. They control supply of the product. So they're going to want trustworthy people to break their product and, to the moon for the hobby. What do you guys think?
Well, I would have loved to watch it, but I couldn't. That's fine.
It doesn't show on a rotary phone, basically.
No,
so
I mean, it's
you
fine.
have to have an Apple only at this point.
It's fine. I mean, it's kind of the nature of any apps. I'm used to it. The app will really, really show off what it can do when it's Android.
Yeah, they just got to make it
It has
78
it's
different
probably
ways.
have a lot of stuff they got to deal with. I mean, I witnessed it firsthand today. It couldn't even share a screen on an Apple.
Oh, it's protection. It protects you.
Yeah, well, it protects you from yourself.
We don't want overseas people to hack into our Apple stuff.
People can. You don't have to be overseas to hack into an Apple.
No,
You can be domestic.
The problem with the reason for those that are Android lovers like Dan, which he's the only one in this room that is basically they make 75 different versions of Android phones
Because they're so good.
Apple makes 1 to 2 versions, so when they make an app, it's a lot easier to push out to 75%
Because
of
Apple
users.
won't allow anybody to make their product.
They will.
No, it needs to be distributed and made by Apple.
Seems like that's a good idea now when all these apps come out first on a platform that's used widely by the masses. But keep holding on to that rotary phone that you have.
It's fine. I mean, I just want to hang out and be included.
Can you do you have a MIDI? Do you have like a MIDI ringtone still? Like when you like it does a little Metallica like dee 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 when it rings.
Oh.
Is that kind of
Those were cool. My friend and
I think those are I mean, you want to talk about printing money? Those are like 99 cents a piece.
they totally were.
It's just reminded me, my friend in maybe like 8th grade, maybe freshman year of high school, he had like the little Nokia phone with a little mini ringtone, and it dead silent in class. It was like we're taking a test, and suddenly you hear 50 cents PIMP, but it's ding 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 ding. It's pretty funny.
Hell yeah.
Those are so unique, but also annoying at the same time. I remember it was a Nokia phone, and you go into their marketplace, and you're like, you get to listen to it, but you can't put it on your phone. And that one doesn't sound as good. Oh, that's the one. Oh, wait, no, I got to change it. And then you can start doing different ringtones for different people.
Yep.
When your girl's calling, when your mom's calling.
Or like the song
Again,
that
they were
plays
like-
when you
They're
leave
like
voicemail.
99 cents, man. How much money did the fine people at Nokia make on their
lot.
MIDI ringtones?
This, by the way, this app is not built for Nokia phones with Snake on it. Am I right? Is that correct, or does it support Nokia Snake phones?
Snake phones. Remember, you
know what I'm talking
get
about.
to change the face of the Nokia too. You can buy.
Oh
the
yeah,
different-
that's cool.
But what it also reminds me of is using those phones. This was popular for you 90s, 80s kids, especially the early technology guys that got in after. It was like probably right after pagers when people got into these. But it was like, when people would film the, hey, you've reached Doug. Go ahead and leave me a number. Like, call me back, hit me back later. And it had like the song. It was usually an R&B song, wasn't it? It was always an R&B
You
song.
had to smooth.
He's like, yeah, I'm not available right now, but if you leave your number, I'll hit you back.
I'm not available. I was just listening to Slow Jam.
But I remember you'd have to do it over and over again. Like you listen to it, no, I got to do it again. I got to do it again.
I'm a little busy making magic happen right now.
I mean, that goes back to probably even like answering machines, right?
Yeah, people were using it. I think
yeah.
it started there. Have a little song on there.
Oh, like the Seinfeld, Believe It or Not, George isn't at home. That great episode.
Remember when people would do that? There's so many people that did it. It was dumb. They'd be like, it'd be an answer machine or or a voicemail. It'd be like, hello? And then you'd be like,
Oh, I did that.
and then it's like, hello? Oh, hey, I fooled you. I'm not available right now.
So I did it, and then I think about a couple of weeks in, I was like, that's so annoying. I can't do that anymore. Because I get annoyed when it's happening to me. So.
Oh, man, the 80s and 90s. That was truly the wild, wild west of technology. Yeah. So, yeah, Fanatics app. So let's end the last segment of the show here, guys. Make sure you get your tribute spots here and chase some of these guys we're going to be talking about. But second half stars to watch, Cody. What are we looking at in baseball after the All-Star game?
Yep, All-Star game, a success, by the way. We all watched the All-Star game. What do we think?
I watched the ninth inning.
Yeah, watched it. Well, it was heck of a ninth inning.
Gotta love
honestly.
Craig Kimbrell with the...
What? Okay. What the heck, man? Let me just... Sorry, I'm going to get on my soapbox here. Nearly blew the game. You have literally 3 of the best closers in all of baseball at your disposal. Alexis Diaz, Josh Hader, Camilo Doval. And you went with... And again, he might be a Hall of Famer one day. But Craig Kimbrell has lost a step. He is not the guy you have out there in the ninth inning when you got all those guys.
Made it interesting.
Whatever. It did make it interesting. So.
He is playing for who now?
The Philadelphia Phillies, which is exactly why he was in, because of course the manager of the NL All-Star team was Rob Thompson, the Phillies
Okay.
manager. That's why.
Yeah, Camilo Doval was, what, 7th inning?
7th inning. Yeah, well, ended up getting the win. So
He got the win?
He got the
Yeah.
win. Yep.
Who is the last Giant to
Matt Cain.
win an All-Star game? Is it Matt Cain?
The last All-Star win for the National League, Matt Cain got the win. So there you go.
You know who I don't know how many Giants have made the All-Star team pitching and
Quite a few.
and started. I know. Remember Atlee Hammaker?
Sure. He got rocked.
He got rocked. He actually got the loss, and for a long time, I think he was like the only Giants pitcher in franchise to start an All-Star game and lose. And he gave up like a grand slam in the first inning. It was gnarly.
I want to say Marichal probably started one. I know Jason Schmidt started one. Johnny Cueto started one as well. And Matt Cain.
right.
Yeah.
Tim Lincecum, of course, too. So there you go. But we're talking second half stars, which, by the way, one more thing about Fanatics. Like, yeah, you just kind of piggybacking what off Doug said. Like, I got to commend them because they have we have watched a lot of live e-commerce come and go.
All of them.
All of them. It feels like it. And look, getting that first look at this, and this is genuine. Like, I think all of us went, wow, this is slick. This is working. And look, once you get in there, there's going to be stuff there's going to be bugs. There will be things there will be growing pains. We get it. But genuinely from the get-go, it does feel like they have kind of heard all of the requests from the hobby, from breakers, all of that, and have implemented a lot of really cool things. So we're really excited to use it. All right, MLB players in the second half. I do want to start with a guy that was a big name for collectors for a while, Spencer Torkelson. It feels like no one's even talking about him anymore. Torque. Exit velocity, he's top 15 in baseball. That usually should translate in good numbers. It hasn't for him for whatever reason. But he did get off to a strong finish in the first half. I think he had like a 900 OPS in his last 15, 20 games going into the second half. You can get a BGS 9.5 First Bowman refractor. It's sold on June 17th, $202.
Wow.
First Bowman signed refractor for Spencer Torkelson. That's not what those cards were going for a year ago.
We need to get rid of exit velocity.
Really?
For only recorded if it's a home run. Because we're recording exit velocity on 18 hopper ground balls to like
Get off
shortstop.
my lawn.
If it doesn't go over the wall, it doesn't get exit velocity.
And I'm gonna go off the greatest hitter I ever saw, Barry Bonds, who would say he never looked at the result of the at bat. He always was like, "How hard did I hit it? Did I hit it hard? Great. Then it's gonna eventually translate into success."
Well, he probably knew he hit it hard.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But
he
he
was a smart guy.
he didn't need somebody to tell him how hard.
No, that's true. But
in numbers.
he's using the tools at his disposal, and if he's saying that's what I judged it off of, then I'm going to believe in Spencer
All right.
Torkelson.
Yeah, I actually
Swinging bunts. I want to know the exit velocity.
I actually
Absolutely.
feel like that card was like $500, $600, $700. I'm on card ladder right now. Yeah, And I mean, I met the kid at one of the Bowman Transcendent parties. Seemed like he could be, his presence was like a leader presence. So I was a fan of him then. I think it's now. You might be right. It might be time to get a few in the fold. There,
Yeah, it's been
in
tough.
the PC.
And look, I understand too. There's something to be said about like the momentum on a team and how it's that Tigers team felt like a team a year ago where it was like they're on the rise and it's just stagnated. Riley Green's hurt now. The Javi Baez signing didn't really work out, but it's just if Torkelson can fulfill his potential, things are going to change, I think, really, really fast there at Detroit. So I'm still a believer in him. Nick Gonzalez of the Pirates got called up very quietly. Everybody's paying attention to Ellie De La Cruz for good reason. He's really, really exciting right now.
Probably the best ever to do it.
He's probably the best to ever do it. You can hear you can quote Dan on that specifically. That he's the best ever to do it.
I will say that he did still second base, third base, and then home.
In 2 pitches.
So yeah, that's cool.
It's pretty exciting. You can't.
Well,
it's
I don't know.
objectively
I don't
cool.
know if I would basically go put him in the Hall of Fame quite yet.
I think I wanted to make this statement earlier in the show, but I think we're heading into the stolen base era. With the rule change, you've got, Corbin Carroll now doing his thing. You've got Ellie doing his thing. And
Acuna.
they're making highlights. You're making ESPN. You see these stolen bases now more and more. And, because to me, the last guy I remember is Carl Crawford. And beyond that, from then till now, nobody notable.
Well, Carl Crawford would have stole 700 bases if they were the size of the Goodyear blimp that they are today.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Acuna, something like he's on pace for 38 home runs and 70 stolen bases. Be the first player to ever have 30 plus homers and 70 stolen bases in a single season.
Crazy.
Should be a lot cooler if he did 70-70.
It would be. But back to Nick Gonzalez of the Pirates. There's a lot of guys I like on the Pirates right now. Again, because of Ellie De La Cruz getting called up. And not only him, too. The Orioles have a lot of exciting rookies. They called up Colton Cowser, Gunnar Henderson, of course, there. I feel like these Pirates rookies are getting ignored. The hot start they went on kind of has slowed down, but they're still better than what they were expected. Gonzalez gets called up. He goes 0 for 8, but since then, he's got a 934 OPS. A red, PSA 10 red, sold for $1,025. That's a red first Bowman.
Is it your daddy's red?
It's your daddy's red.
Ooh.
That's why I was like, wow.
I just looked at a PSA 10 red wave 860 PSA 10. The one thing I don't, and I understand that Topps has to do this, but I think what confuses people is they put him back out in 2021 Bowman Chrome, which doesn't say first Bowman, but and we know that, but I think some people get confused and then they see a deal and they buy that when they could have maybe spent a little bit more to get the actual first Bowman. And I'm not saying if Nick Gonzalez isn't a stud that those ones will carry weight too, but it's like a second Bowman, and I know it's like a checklist filler, but I'm looking at it now and it's like an orange sold for $148. It gets confusing. People don't know. He just got called up. They may think that's his first Bowman.
Does he hit bombs?
He's got pop.
Okay.
He's not a power guy first, but he's an all-around great hitter for them. It's a team on the rise. I think also if O'Neal Cruz was healthy right now, the way we'd be talking about this team and their youth movement be a lot different. I think we'd be like, this is the Reds. This is the most exciting young team in baseball, but he's hurt, unfortunately, and it's going to be out for a while because you've got Henry Davis just got called up, playing right field, by the way, not catcher, which actually might be better for
When's
his
Tamar
current
going to get called up, though?
Probably still waiting on Tamar. Still waiting a little bit, but
So maybe next year the Pirates will be the hot young team.
Exactly. You get O'Neal Cruz, you get Tamar Johnson in there, you get Nick Gonzalez probably at third base at that point, or Johnson. I'm not sure where they'll put him. But there's a lot of really young, exciting talent there. Jackson Winsky, I'm going to throw him out. He's top 10 in OPS. He was a rookie last year. A lot of really good, exciting young players. Speaking of that, Baltimore Orioles, Colton Cowser just got called up, but I wanted to focus on Heston Kierstad. His stuff is probably the most expensive of all the guys I'm going to talk about right now.
Did he get called up?
He is really close.
Okay.
He's really close. He's in AAA right now. Since getting called up to AAA, 323 average, 602 slugging. His PSA 10 autos are floating around if you're just looking for a base.
Does he hit bombs?
Oh, he hits bombs.
Okay.
Oh, he hits bombs.
Who are we talking about?
Heston Kierstad.
Heston. Okay.
Yeah, remember, and he's kind of
I
slowed
remember.
down because he did get hurt. So the momentum kind of shifted on him. And we've all focused our attention on Adley and Gunnar and all these other Jackson Holiday, heck. But $370 at the lowest price for a first Bowman auto.
Not bad.
Not bad, but his stuff is a little higher than these guys. But I also think if you're looking at him compared to, say, Gunnar, Adley, if you're looking for an Orioles star to still get in on at a price that sounds pretty reasonable, Heston might be the guy.
He's got a tough name, though. Tough name.
Yeah.
Last name there.
Kierstad. Just
KJERSTAD.
Ignore
Dude,
the
a lot of
J.
these teams have so many young guys you can collect, dude. It's like kind of overwhelming,
It
bro.
is this, and that might be the only thing that holds him back. Is it's like, is it a case of like,
You might be there's a high percentage you're gonna choose the wrong one.
yes,
Out of all these guys, who are you collecting? Who are you like? Because you went over a handful of these guys. Who is the guy that really stands out that you're like, man, this guy is completely.
And who's the last? And who's the last one? We have one more.
one more. I'll just throw out one more. This is a real quick one. This is kind of a wild card for me because the Marlins are really good. They're in first place in the wild card standing right now. They have the 4th best record in all of baseball right now, which is
Crazy.
insane.
It's hot out there.
And they're doing it without Jazz Chisholm, who's been hurt for on and off. But when he's on the field, one, shifted to center field and has been actually pretty good.
He had 2 back-to-back stints on the IL.
Yeah, that's what's been tough. But when he's on the field, he's hitting.
Is that on your fantasy
He's
team?
an exciting. Yeah, Dan knows. Dan knows. But when he's on the field, exciting. One of the most exciting young players in baseball. Still just 25, and his stuff is. That's one where, like, if you want to take a bet, you can get his stuff right now for under $200, if not lower, for some autos for him.
Could he be moved to another team?
That might be the only other thing that holds him back, because there have also been some whispers of he's not, that some of the guys in the clubhouse don't vibe with him.
Be a good Giant.
He'd be a great Giant.
I'd take him.
Yeah,
Everybody
I would take
would be
him
a
in
great
heartbeat.
Giant.
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Well, luckily, and his first,
yeah.
I think his first moment, no,
Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks
For him, yeah.
So,
But that's a guy that I'm like, that's a big bet. I know, like, he's kind of had an on and off year, but
2017, Bowman.
yeah, it's been a while.
Long time.
Been a while. But of all those guys that we just mentioned, honestly, the guy that I'm still, I think the perfect combination of price point, talent, is still Spencer Torkelson.
I gotta agree.
I agree as well. That's why I brought it up, because I'm like, out of all those guys, Torkelson seems like the guy who has the most upside.
Is the team the farthest away, though?
Yeah, they are. They are probably the furthest away. The Pirates are, I think they went to the break at like 6 games under, which is not bad compared
Pirates?
to, yeah, 6 games under 500. Not bad for
But
them.
they were on fire.
They were on fire to begin the season, but it was a lot of offensive numbers that were like, yeah, that ain't going to last. Like, guys like, I'm going to throw out a name. Tucapita Marcano was like the 10th best hitter in baseball. Yeah, that's not going to last all season long. Could have. But there are real bright spots of like him, Henry Davis getting called up. McCutcheon seems revitalized there. They have good pitching, so they're going to be good eventually. But yeah, Detroit's probably the furthest off. And a lot of it is riding on Torkelson. He will be the guy. Whereas I think these other guys we mentioned, there's a lot of young talent there
of them
that they might get overshadowed by other teammates. Whereas Torkelson, when he can figure it out, will be the guy in the middle of that order.
And before trade deadline coming up, right? Who do you see? You see the Angels getting rid of Ohtani, trying to get something back for him, because
I don't think they will.
the chances of them re-signing him.
I think the merch alone and the attendance, even if they're flailing, is
Yeah,
worth
but
keeping them.
the haul that you can get, if you have no chance of signing them, you can get some pretty substantial prospects
a lot.
back.
Yeah.
What they should have done, honestly, but again, they were trying to compete. But if they really wanted to get a good haul, they should have traded him last offseason. Because now you're getting half of a season of Ohtani and then crossing your fingers that he'll sign with you. Now, would I take that bet if I'm a team like the Mariners, the Giants, the Dodgers? Would I take that bet? Yeah, I probably would. If it doesn't cost, your entire farm system, but it may very well do that. But the Angels should do it. The Angels should still trade him.
Well, on that note, guys, we're going to have a Instagram Live coming up here, and you probably can watch it on the playback as you're listening to this later. Hopefully you already are in the know. But we're going to be joined live by Dalton Kincaid, the tight end, newly drafted tight end from the Buffalo Bills, and our buddy Joe Staley. And we're going to be doing some box breaks on Instagram, and they're going to do some box battles. So check that out. Make sure you jump in Mojo Collection this week. Only 25 cases made, so it'll go quick. new tribute, and also our all-access football is rocking and rolling. So you can get into every football release for the entire year with our all-access program. You'll also get a 12% off on any football break on the site, as well as early access to pick your team in case breaks 24 hours before the public gets it. So join our all-access program. Right now there's a discount if you buy the whole year up front, or you could do monthly. So you know you're going to get into these breaks anyway. Might as well take advantage of the biggest coupon we have on the site, as well as getting a box break of every single football release for a year. So we'll see you guys on the next show as we get closer to 300. Also, check out some of our Road to the National podcasts. We just did you just did one with the owner of
Andy Broom, CGC VP. We talked about that change that is going to be going into effect here with CSG and CGC cards, where it's all going to be one slab. Good stuff. Really fun. Really, really great conversation with them. I highly recommend it.
I wish I was here for that, dude. I was gonna be like, I'm all in on your company, dude.
I told them we got guys who know your brand. I mentioned you specifically that said the comic stuff. This is why I think there's a reason to be excited about this. So it was a good conversation, and we got more coming up every Monday of July. Going the rest of the way, you're going to get a bonus podcast in your feed.
Yep, and I think the next one is going to be Matt McGluckin from DAPS talking about his experiences and his starting up in the hobby. So that's another good listen with Cody. And hopefully we'll have some more announcing soon. And like I said, keep checking back for that extra content other than just the hype. Contribute on the hype content's social media on Facebook group. And we'll see you guys next week. And make sure you guys RSVP to the party. If you don't have the invite, send us a DM or pop into the channel, the Facebook channel, and ask for the invite link, and we'll get one to you. And we'll see you guys next week on the hype. Peace.